Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the eISL powered by Coca-Cola Associate Sponsors Hero, the esports partner, Nordwind Gaming platform partner, PlayStation, and digital collectible partner, Terra Virtua. This is Super Johnny. I'm going to be your host throughout the finals. And, well, we are at an exciting stage of this tournament. But to discuss this further, I have two very exciting personalities joining me right now on the desk, ladies and gentlemen. Please welcome Azim and Fixes. We are going to witness, guys, the lower brackets right now, and it is an interesting situation. How excited are you for this match?
Yeah, very, very excited because for the first time now we're in an elimination where one of the teams ends up going home. So very, very high stakes, and considering that these were the two teams on top of the leaderboard. So it's lots of interesting subplots over here.
Yeah, I mean, clearly, I think I haven't really gotten over the heartbreak that we had to see off all these other players going out, and today is going to be one of those days where not just one but two teams are going to be bidding adieu to us over here. And like Azim clearly mentioned, right, SCEB Bengal and Chennaiyin FC, two of the teams are clearly touted as the grand finalists, are here playing for survival.
Exactly. We expected this to be the other way around. I mean, as Azim mentioned, both of these teams had had moments when they were on the top of the leaderboard, but now in the lower bracket facing elimination, and that too when it is very crucial to get the win. I mean, talk about the prize pool, right? There is 15 lakh rupees if you get the win, if you finish first in the grand finals. And of course, if you are the MVP of the tournament, there's 4 lakhs. And out of the two teams that are competing right now, I believe almost all of them, all the 4 players are in the top 4.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you got Saranch and Naveen who've been up there from the beginning. Ankit Gupta still, I believe, just about leading those stakes. I'm sure we'll get to see the stats in a little while.
Yeah.
But it's very interesting how this is going to proceed. I'm also very fascinated to see what the matchups are going to be, because so far we have not seen the two big hitters, Saranch Jain and Ankit Gupta, going up against each other. And I wonder if today of all days is it's going to be that time when we see it.
You know, more than that, I think clearly this match has to be coming down to the fact that whether or not Ankit Gupta has gained his previous Midas touch, right? Because everything that he touched went in for a goal. And that clearly hasn't been the case over the past couple of days, let's say past couple of weeks, because he's been struggling. And that is where even the discussion did come up, you know. Is it the other teams being able to figure him out? Because today he's got to pull off something that he's never done before. Maybe a few more unorthodox shots that he's got to take, maybe a few other chances. But yeah, I think it will all come down to even Chennaiyin being one of those players who's been the most consistent, we can say, in terms for SCEB Bengal. Clearly has been one of the players who transitioned, who's had a similar transition story in terms of Afnan, how he's evolved, right? Initially quite nervy, then becoming really confident to the point where he was carrying his team when it was much needed.
And today, they're going to need to pull the same thing again. I mean, get the win one way or the other. And if it is definitely going to be better if you get the win in your 1v1s. But let's have a look at the brackets and see what the situation is like. Because as we've informed you, we've been talking about, this is going to be an elimination match. The lower bracket, right, the SCEB Bengal versus Chennaiyin FC. Whoever wins will get an opportunity to face FC Goa in the lower bracket finals. And along with that, if you make it to the grand finals, you can compete for the 15 lakh rupees for the first position team.
And you know, if the viewers did tune into the stream earlier, right, you could clearly see the nerves speaking out, right? But here it is, where you know, if one mistake is made by your side, it's game over for you, because that clearly is going to be the demarcating factor between these two clubs going up against each other, right? High stakes game, two of the top leaderboard players. And not just that, we do have another run for the MVP prize going along.
Yeah, and again, all the competitors in the fight right now for the MVP prize money are present. They are going to be playing in this series. But now let's move forward, have a look at that list. Look, all 4 of them are there, and the difference is not that much.
Oh, yeah, pretty much separated by 3 goals over there. Shayantan, Saranch, Naveen, and of course Ankit Gupta. I believe for a while there was from Bengaluru FC, Shagnik was in there as well. But of course he's not relevant to the discussion, because Bengaluru FC of course did finish 5th as sort of that best of the rest in the eISL. But yeah, Ankit. He's a player that we need to focus on for a little bit. He's a guy who, we've spoken about this plenty of times, that he was the guy who was in form, just absolutely blowing everybody out of the water. And then suddenly, over the last, say, month and a half, it's just suddenly that spark has disappeared.
And you know, even sort of adding on to what just Azim said, right? It's quite evident that he has never been in this sort of situation, right? Off the field, yeah, we do know, you know, he is into competitive football, right? He does manage a team and he's been coaching around. But still, you know, as a player, in terms of FIFA, you do have one of the biggest players that Southeast Asia has produced, Saranj, going up against you, right? This is where it all comes down. Is Ankit ready for the high-stakes matchup, or is he going to crumble down to the pressure?
We are about to find that out. But for now, let's have a look at the matchup of the day and see what the situation is going to be like over there. As Azim, you did mention, this is what we wanted to see. Ankit Gupta going up against Saranj Jain. Now, Saranj is a tough opponent to beat. And as we did see, even on the MVP leaderboard, the difference is not that much. Naveen, I believe, is just 3 goals behind the leader, that is not Ankit Gupta. And if Naveen, in his match, that is game number 2 against Ben Sayantan, if he manages to score those 3 goals, he will have the lead.
Yeah, it's all possible. And of course, that double motivation. So hopefully, we'll potentially see a few high-scoring matches over here. I would love it. Maybe 5-4, 6-7. 4-all penalty shootout. I'll take that. That'd be nice.
You know what? I think it's going to be either ways, right? Either it's going to be a really high-scoring affair, or you're going to barely see someone just scrapping off with a victory. Nothing in the middle is what lies. Because right now, if you talk about how these teams have been performing, clearly, you know, SC's Bengal, there was a certain moment where they were looking absolutely unbeatable. Just barring that one loss to Mumbai City FC, there was not even a single team that managed to beat them just before a couple of days, where Kerala Blasters FC managed to see it through. But despite that fact, yes, clearly this matchup is all about Ankit Gupta retaining his old form or not. A big question mark on that, because Saranj Jain, even if you take a look at his statistics, he's not been having the best of the tournaments, right? We have been having this discussion around it. Clearly, you know, not comfortable with the version. He's been, you know, heckling around with, you know, the other console version. With this one coming down to this matchup, because, you know, those are few of the things a lot of people might term it as excuses being made over here, because it's a tournament that has been going along for 4 months, and primarily I think one of the most important tournaments of their lives going out there, because obviously a player of Saranj Jain's caliber, you would want to see him representing the Indian colours in the FGS.
I mean, definitely a lot of people are going to be rooting for that to happen, but we do have the stats from the previous matchup in front of us right now. And it was very, very close in terms of how the match was won by SC East Bengal. I mean, everything just falling apart for Chennaiyin FC in an instant. But still, today is an opportunity for revenge. And this is going to be sweet revenge, because a lot of money on the line.
Now, this time, at least one good thing is that we're going to have a definitive winner, right? It's not going to end up with these two teams sharing points. So that is something there. But, you know, if you talk about the next matchup, now, this is what I've been talking about, right? SC East Bengal had been clearly unbeatable, just apart from Mumbai City FC and Kerala Blasters FC. So, clearly, over here, Chennaiyin FC do have a point to prove. And Naveen has also been one of those players who has been really consistent. In the middle phases, we did see he did lose out a little bit of form. But today, I think he's been consistent. Even the last time he came out to play, he was a little bit unlucky. That sucker punch, I think, Azim, you would still remember.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Who can forget that? I don't think Ankit's going to forget that anytime soon. But we see the head-to-heads over there. Nothing really to choose between these guys. Ankit, I think, grinding out a couple more wins than Saranj. I mean, we're still talking about a guy who won 12 out of his 21 matches, and we're saying, okay, he's not in the best of form, blah, blah, blah. Saranj, I mean, you would have expected him to win more than half of the matches that he's played, you would have to say. And he's a player who's very critical of himself. He doesn't feel that he's at all been in the zone and in the mood for the eISL so far. But listen, the big players show up in the big games, and it doesn't get any bigger than this, because if you lose, you are going home. So which Saranj we're going to see? Already bringing out the flicks. He's got Maradona up there. He's got R9 straight up. Saranj getting forward with real intent over here and really trying to take Ankit by surprise. And we've seen that players who take the game to Ankit early on have tended to reap those benefits. And now with Hulit He's really got Ankit pegged back at the moment over here immediately. And I wonder if he's going to look for a cheeky cutback over here. Will he go for the shot? But Ankit survives that. And now we'll look to get forward. And of course, we do know that Ankit is the king of the counter-attack. When you least expect it, he finds that one ball in behind the defense. And you could be a goal down. So very, very interesting contrast of styles over here. You have Saransh, who loves to dominate and dictate that possession. Whereas Ankit is the guy who will use every tool possible. The counter-attack, the set pieces. He's got all the weapons in the arsenal.
Oh yeah, and here onwards, right now building up an attack with R9. He's got to look for someone. And one of those things about Ankit Gupta, right, is the Ankit magic that comes along with it. When you're least expecting someone to score a goal, I think it's Ankit who usually manages to do that. Could have been a chance. But right now, if you talk about his previous encounter against FC Goa, you could clearly see, that sort of charisma was missing out from his side. Him attempting those long-range shots, him attempting shots that no one would ideally take was not there. He was suddenly starting to overthink, and it clearly did not help him out in whatsoever case. But coming down to Saransh Jain, we know how he loves to build up that, passing play on, and towards that final third, he loves to get that flick going in and finally tends to score the goal. So that is something that Ankit Gupta needs to come prepared with. And this could be the opener, but no, says Ankit Gupta and his Casillas as they manage to thwart it out for a corner.
Yeah, still the danger is there. Now it falls to R9. Ooh, air shot over there. Could potentially have been a penalty almost. But nothing given by the ref over here. We've seen some strange leniency in refereeing today across all the matches. And there you go. That's the ball we're talking about. Ankit Gupta always seems to find that space in behind the fullbacks, and it's deflected. Whew, for a moment, it looked like that was about to fly into the corner. And, Saransh will be thanking his stars that it just went harmlessly wide.
Yeah, I think Saransh is well prepared for this matchup, right? Because he's been in this certain situation, I think 1,000 times, if not less, right? Because one of the very decorated players in the FIFA community that we do have, he's going up against a player who has been the highlight of this tournament so far, who's clearly not in a good form. But Ankit Gupta hasn't really been in this situation before. Finally finds a cutback, but Ruben Diaz being there, making the save much important as we are prone to another counter-attack, this time from Chennaiyin FC with Maradona pushing in through the right wings. Has to find a beautiful pass there, but maybe not.
Still managing to hold on to possession. Look at that. He's absolutely running rings around Ankit's defense there. And now he's found the opportunity and it is saved.
Oh.
It is saved. Casillas pulling it out over there. And I do wonder maybe if that low-driven shot might have been the better option. We do know now just how OP these keepers can be with all these upgraded prime cards that they have. But yeah, it's I'm enjoying this game. It's got a very, very nice ebb and flow to it. Both players playing without fear. They're both going out and attacking and trying to win those battles. And now you can see Saransh again getting in with Mbappe, trying to go for that cutback, but easily cut out. And also quite interesting to see that we see that Ankit has persisted with Puskas as one of his forwards on that left flank. And we're seeing Saransh with Maradona as well. So few slight changes to the regular meta that we're used to. We don't see Messi on over there. And this is a good ball by Ankit. Works this really, really well. But that final ball lets him down.
Yeah, this is the pressure that we're talking about, right? And clearly, so far the case has been, it's been an end-to-end game. Both these players, they're not playing a lot around the midfields, right? They're playing a lot from the narrow sides. They're trying to, from the edges, trying to push in, maybe get a cutback, maybe do something. But nothing short of Ankit magic is needed for the SCEB Bengal fans over here. He has to go for those long finesse shots. He has to do something out of the box because that is needed. Clearly, if you talk about Saransh Jain, the last time, I think it's the pressure that really hurts him a lot. That early pressure, which I think Kaman Tikka did a phenomenal job in trying to get those early goals scored. And then he just took Saransh for a ride. And Saransh did recover, but not enough. To do that, this is a very good chance, but not the kind of a power that he would have wanted in his shot. And SCEB Bengal still in search for that goal.
Yeah, it was an interesting shot. I think he just didn't get enough power on it. But now Saranj coming forward with power. But does he have precision to find that ball? He does find Mbappe. Will he go for the chop back finesse shot? I wonder. No, goes for the very, very over-ambitious pass. Is fortunate to get that ball back. And, well, coming close to half-time now. It's been a very nice, open, flowy game. Despite there being no goals, I think we've seen a flurry of saves made by the keeper. Saranj having, generally speaking, the better chances. Yeah, I think more improved performance definitely from Ankit from what we've seen in recent weeks from him. He's showing that he still has that spark, he still has that capability of creating those magic moments, and now Saranj trying to create one of his own. Not much added time, in fact none at all, so maybe we'll see him go for a shot over here with Maradona. You could see him trying to work that angle, but it is cleared away. And 0-0 at half-time, the hoodie comes off from Saranj. Not entirely happy with how that first half went because he did have the big chances. Yeah. And a bit of an inquisition now coming in from Shantan on the side saying clearly he's found something that Ankit's not doing right, and he'll be hoping to fix that in the second half.
And I think it's quite debatable, right? Both these players have had enough chances. Considering the last co-op game we did witness between FC Goa and Mumbai City FC this time, you know, we were seeing players try to get inside the final third, trying to take those shots. But the goalkeepers clearly have been the MVP so far inside the game. Not a lot of ball has been played around the midfield. We did not witness that. Both of them have been capitalizing on those flanks, on those wings, trying to build up that play. And this is something it comes down to how quickly you really adapt to the situation, right? Yeah. Because if you kind of still go on with that stubborn mentality of yours, if you remember this matchup against SCEB Bengal going up against Kerala Blasters FC, I think it was time and again Ankit Gupta looking for that cutback. Yeah. And it was not just the first time that he was trying to do that, and that was very well read, and he was absolutely hammered. But again, you know, this is it. This is where it all changes. It all comes down to that player making a mistake. So, of course, so far they haven't really succeeded in terms of scoring a goal, but they haven't really conceded any. So that's the only good thing both of them can take out of this one. As Ankit Gupta just battling it out, maybe trying to scrape one goal in. And this time again from the right wings, and Saranj just putting everybody onto him, and still he could manage to take a shot at goal.
Yeah, and just as you mentioned it over there, the fact that there hadn't been enough innovation in the past from Ankit in those situations, just going for that simple, shall we say, generic vanilla cutback. Over here we saw a little bit of variety, turning away from the defender, creating that space, doing that little bit of a skill move to get the shooting space, and of course did cause Saranj's defense a lot of trouble. But now looking to get in behind again is Ankit. You can see that's a concerted strategy for him. He wants to get in behind the fullbacks of Saranj. We've seen players like Imad do that to devastating effect when Saranj is involved, because he does like to play a very, very high line. He does like to be proactive and really try to win that ball back high up the pitch. Ankit trying to twist away from his defender over there, not quite able to do it. And now Saranj coming forward. This time, can he get away? Nope. Maldini is there, and it will roll out this time for a corner. So Saranj, let's see what he has up his sleeve. The keeper comes out, but not too far out, because we've seen what Imad can do in these situations. And does it look like that it's just going to be a short corner taken by Saranj? Yes, yeah. It is. And I wonder if he'll go with the shot over here with R9. Not trying to work that angle, which was just never really on for Saranj. And he'll keep the ball now, will Ankit Gupta, and try to build forward. 60 minutes on the clock now. And you have to say the first half, the better chances falling to Saranj, but the second half, it has been Ankit creating those big opportunities. And really, one of these players needs to capitalize. And could it be Ankit there? You could see immediately he wanted to get that shot off, but the defenders there just before.
Yeah, I think we've been talking so much about Ankit Gupta that we really missed out on Saranj Jain over here, because he's one of those players who loves to get those short passes on. Clearly, you could see a player like Lokmani also having a sort of a similar play style. And towards the end game, we see a little bit of that tikka magic, you know, tries to go a little solo, then beats the keeper with a flick, and then tends to score. And that clearly hasn't really been on the table from Saranj's side, and could have been, and I think this is good signs for SCEB Bengal, because they're looking a lot more threatening than they were in the first half. And Saranj Jain understands the gravity of the situation, has made certain adjustments to that, because whatever SCEB Bengal are putting in front of them, he is ready to counter it, but still has been missing that touch in terms of trying and getting the job done, that is score a goal.
Yeah, no, not any closer to the goal either of these teams so far. And getting forward now using Maradona. We have seen Maradona used to pretty good effect in recent weeks. We did see Ashwin using the Maradona card and getting quite a bit of joy out of it. Decided to go with Ronaldinho this time. But now, big opportunity for Saranj. He takes that shot and finally the resistance for SCEB Bengal is broken. Ankit now has to go all out attack. He always plays with a smile on his face. Even when he's face palming, he's still smiling. But yeah, he's going to need to do something to keep himself smiling after that 90-minute mark, because this time Saranj perfectly working that, waited and waited and waited for Ankit to commit over there, and then just slipping away, getting that turn, and that 97 rated Ronaldo card, never going to miss from there.
I think the Machans would be so elated by what Saranj just gifted them away, right? That very important goal at such an interesting point, right? Now, this is where I think the pressure's just gone off Saranj a little bit. This is where I think we could see a more attacking version of him. I finally found a chink in Ankit Gupta's armor, going in solo. This is typical Saranj in display for you, ladies and gentlemen. And you could clearly see how much this goal means for him, because it could be the potential last time he's coming out to play if he loses out on this game, right? It's his last individual matchup. So he's making it count. A big game player. Finally, he comes out in all glory. But this match is far from over, right? There is a chance in the next 18 minutes or so, if Ankit Gupta manages to score an equalizer, then we're going to be even Stevens back again. A few substitutes being made, Maradona being replaced, now Lionel Messi being brought up. And this is something we haven't really seen from Saranj's side, right? The chop back finesse shot could open up to possibilities of such a chance being created.
Yeah, absolutely. And we see a defensive midfielder taken off for an attacking midfielder for Ankit. So you clearly know how what his approach is going to be. You know he's going to absolutely be going hell for leather over here and using that high press as well. Would not be surprised if Ankit manages to get the equalizer. He has the chance over here and pulled out of the top corner. It will go out for a corner, but of course we do know Ankit very, very threatening from set pieces.
Yeah, of course. We've seen that time and again. You know, could he do something? Could he catch Saranj with his pants down? Does he have any set piece routine over here? But clearly Saranj did manage to fend it off, or maybe not. But yeah, I think, you know, Azim, this is what I really wanted to ask you. I think it was the pressure building up on Ankit Gupta, because on any other day, he would have, you know, really entered inside the box before taking that shot. He was a little bit hasty and could not see this through. Could be a sucker punch, but damage has been mitigated.
Yeah, and again, giving that ball away, you can see there's that desperation from Ankit to just get up the pitch as quickly as he can and pull it. Absolutely pushed off that ball by Joao Cancelo. That's the beauty of a Team of the Year card. And now has the big switch on that right flank. He spots it beautifully with Hakimi. Will he go for that cross into the back post? It's Mbappe. Puts it across goal, but unfortunately for him, nobody there. It will come back. It's the flick from Busquets. The bicycle kick almost coming off for Ankit Gupta. He will still have the corner. What can he give us from the corner over here? The bicycle kick was on his bucket list, surely almost. And what a game and what a way to pull it off it would have been. Is this going to be a volley? It's Cruyff now. It's Puskas. It's a set piece routine. Worked well, but no. Saranj just about survives, and now on the counter attack, acres of space. This could be lights out for Ankit. He brings the keeper out. Is he going to force his hand into the chip? Saranj loves to sit the keeper down, but he's done very, very well.
Oh my gracious Lord. I really felt, you know, that was a 2-0. Suddenly even Saranj questioning his immortality out there. And now Ankit Gupta is all fired up. He needs to find that opening, but Ruben Diaz making such an important intervention in those final 2 minutes of this game. All Saranj needs to do at this point, ladies and gentlemen, is hold on to the possession. And he is good to go. Cannot really afford to lose the ball from around here. The final attack coming down to SCEB Bengal. It is all or nothing for Ankit Gupta as he's racing down that right wing. Needs to find that perfect pass. Gets Hakimi though. Finds Cruyff. Still in possession of the ball. Switches the play towards the left hand side. Has Joao Cancelo coming up. But no, Ruben Diaz saving the day yet again. Or maybe not. Finally the full-time whistle blowing off. And Saranj breathes a sigh of relief. A very, very closely contested win. And Chennaiyin FC do have the first laugh.
Oh my goodness me, that was just absolute mayhem towards the end over there. It could have gone either way, and there you can see Ankit. I think he maybe waited a little too long before going into that all-out attack mode. I think he could have gone attacking just that little bit earlier, and you can see the frustration. I mean, he threw everything at it. He threw the absolute kitchen sink at Saranj towards the end of that game. But, well, now it's all over for him, potentially I mean, that could potentially even be his last game of the eISL of consequence if his teammate doesn't manage to bail him out. And what an absolute blockbuster it's going to be now. Shayantan, aka I'm Ben07, going up against, shall we say, the Prince of Chennai, Naveen, who's been super consistent throughout this eISL.
And one more thing to really point out, Ankit Gupta went in goalless, Johnny, because right now, this is where it gets more exciting, right? Because now Naveen just needs 2 more goals to equalize the tally, and if he gets the third, I think he's going to be in the race to win it all, that 4 lakh rupees, right? Most of the tournaments that we see do not even have a prize pool to 4 lakhs, but here it is for the MVP prize. This is what we're talking about.
I mean, this was double pressure situation for him because, as Azim said, double motivation for the lads from Chennai and FC. Ankit, he had to protect his spot and win the game at the same time. And one thing we have noticed every time, as Azim also pointed out this during the game, when Ankit conceded the goal, that he's always smiling, he's always super chill about the matchup. I think we just saw him get serious for a moment towards the end right there, when he was putting so much pressure on Saranj. As soon as the game ended, even Saranj was like, thank God that's over.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Ankit has been the guy, I mean, we've called him the vibes player. He's the guy who just operates based on vibes. And you were right, particularly with this chance fixes. The old Ankit would probably have just taken a touch, beaten the man. But he's a player who's low on confidence. That little flick and the bicycle kick, if that had gone in, oh my goodness me, the audacity to pull it off. And you can see from the stats just how close that was in terms of expected goals, with Saranj hogging all the possession, but Ankit having all the shots.
I think it was very late into the game that Ankit really came online, right? It was those final 20 minutes where we could see that old Ankit in display. But clearly, Ankit, who is nervous right now, because on any other day, those 2 chances that he had, he could have really gotten inside the box and then taken all his time in trying and scoring that one, which he could not, or rather, which he did not. And Saranj did understand, this is the point where I can capitalize. I know my opponent is under tremendous pressure, and he went on to score the goal that really mattered. And what a beautiful build-up it was, right? At a certain point, we were looking at the second half being kind of dominated by Ankit Gupta. Clearly had to take it into his own hands, and the boy comes out on top, Saranj Jain.
Well, I mean, Saranj did a phenomenal job throughout the game, just managing to get the goal in early and then just hold on to the advantage to the later stages. But this was just match 1. There is still opportunity for SC East Bengal to come back into this series. But for that to happen, Ben Sayantan, he needs to make the move. And again, so another interesting thing here, right? Ben wasn't too far away on the leaderboard right there in terms of the goal scorers. So even he has the opportunity to beat his own teammate right now, right here.
And he's always been that Mr. Dependable for SC Bengal, right? They have been in these sort of situations quite more often than not. Most of the times we've seen, Ankit ending up with a draw, and then Shayantan coming and cleaning up on all those pieces. So magic is definitely needed from his side today.
Well, magic is going to be needed because Saranj definitely showed all his cards in this series, and well, a close match but a comfortable win for the lads. Saranj, congratulations on the win. It was a very intense game. How are you feeling about the game just coming into the end when it did?
I mean, I was tired towards the end of the game. I think it was too intense for my liking, honestly. But I knew that's gonna happen. We've been wanting to play each other, Ankit and I, but in the league stages it wasn't possible. So I was excited. I was looking forward to the game, and it was a fun game. I think both of us enjoyed it a lot, even though it was a 1-0. It didn't really feel like a 1-0. It did feel like open-ended. But since we've played 100, 200 friendlies with each other, most of us, both of us knew what we're gonna do. So it sort of came down to that one moment, and luckily like I got the win.
Saransh talked to me about the pressure because heading into the first playoff matchup, it did not quite, merge out to be your ways, right? Clearly, this is an elimination matchup. Had you lost this one, things could have gotten really wayward. So you've been in these situations even before and have managed to see it through. So tell me about it a little bit.
I'm honestly not much of a winner bracket guy. Every tournament I've done well in has been through the loser bracket, so there wasn't too much pressure, to be honest. But like the fact that we played SC East Bengal, who were like first in the table, and we were second, and both of us are facing them in the loser bracket, just explains how random FIFA can get. I mean, anything can happen on the day, and there's still like 2 games to go, so let's see how it goes.
Yeah, in the last game, I think against Tikka, like he had a really, really strong performance against you. I think you were not really able to get control of that game at all. But today against Ankit, you were able to control that midfield and control the pace of the game. So what was the real difference like in play styles between those two that made it that little bit easier today?
I mean, not much. I try to focus on my own game rather than the opponent. I felt like against Tikka, I didn't finish my chances in the first half, which was very similar to what was happening today. I missed 2 chances with CR7. But, like against Tikka, like he scored pretty early on in the second half.
Yeah.
So he could control the game and I couldn't get my hands on it. But this time, since it was 0-0, I felt like we both had an equal control of the game, sort of. Right? It was back and forth. And yeah.
Well, it was back and forth, but Saransh, congratulations on clutching out this win. A very, very good game from both you and your opponent. But all the best for the co-op match for you and your teammate that you're about to play later on. And thank you so much for joining us for this interview.
Thank you, guys. See you.
Cheers.
I'm pretty sure every single interview, no matter who we call, as soon as they have a look at the trophy, plans are going to start formulating. What do you think?
Yeah, no, they're just going to say they're taking it one game at a time and not give us any masala to go on this broadcast. The only guy who doesn't say all these things is Ankit Gupta. Maybe we'll get to have a chat with him. Who knows? He might still come out of this day as the winner, and that's the jeopardy of this. I mean, we potentially have the current MVP, so to speak, who could be going out, or we could have the #1 player in Southeast Asia going out. And it's not even the grand final or the upper bracket, like the final yet. So it's very, very interesting to see how this will go. I'm very excited to see how Naveen and Shayantan will go, because, yes, we spoke about how, Saransh and Ankit have not played before. But that also means that Shayantan and Naveen have not played before. And you would have to say 2 players who have carried their teams through very difficult periods for their teammates. I think for Saransh, early on, he was not getting the results, and then slowly it started to come in. Whereas for Ankit, as the tournament has progressed, it's been Shayantan who's been the guy who's really stepped up, and constantly you put him a goal down, 2 goals down, he's just completely chilled. The expression doesn't change. He just comes back, gets that comeback, scores 2 goals, 3 goals when it's needed. So he's going to be, I think it's key. He's the key. He's the missing piece in this jigsaw today to find out which way it will go.
And just to pour a little bit of masala, right? The first matchup that we had just earlier to this, Afnan managed to win it through it, of course. And then we all see what really happened. So you never know. I think we could go for a potential game number 3 tonight.
I mean, we can always count on fixes to bring in the masala if we are not going to get it anywhere else. But Azim, I want to know from you, like, with your expertise in the game, how do the play styles of these 2 individuals compare against each other, Naveen and Shayantan?
I think they are actually very, very similar in terms of their play styles, because both of them, you cannot point out a weakness in either player. I mean, both of them are very good at organizing their defenses. Both of them like to play that intricate, nice passing. But both of them are willing to also mix it up in terms of the finishing. You'll see, we've seen a lot of those unorthodox finishes, shall we say, from Shayantan. A lot of those chipped goals where you would never expect him to go for a chip. And he's just managed to get that job done. For Naveen, he's very, very explosive when he needs to be. He'll just sort of Tikka-like in a way. You could say Tikka light, shall we say, where he can suddenly just turn up the heat and just score a few goals against you. So very balanced.
One more thing that I really would want to point out. Every single time, SC East Bengal comes out as the victors and it's Shayantan who gets a win, he somehow gives the credit away to Ankit Gupta. My match jeeta, Ankit Gupta tha mere saath. And this is the moment where he's got to make it about himself. This is the moment when he knows that the entire light is on him. He's got to be the one who rescues SC East Bengal from the clinches of elimination over here. It all comes down. does he have it in him? Because against Naveen, it's never more easy. And it's going to be such a cagey affair, right? Between these two gentlemen. Clearly, in terms of the statistics, quite visible. 47-48, battle for the MVP, battle for survival, it's all on the line.
It's all on the line right now, and whoever wins this, I mean, will have the opportunity to take their team to the lower bracket finals against FC Goa. And again, that is also going to be a tough matchup for these lads. But as you said, Fixes, all on the line in this one game. Up to Shantan to bring his team back into the series. And although one thing I have to say, maybe what you were saying about Shantan every time giving the credit to Ankit, maybe it's just the vibes. Ankit bringing in the vibes, Shantan bringing in the calmness of having the attitude of clutching it out every single time.
Yeah, I mean, very, very possible. I think you need a mix of both. You need a mix of, shall we say, the seriousness and fun to each team. I think with Chennaiyin FC, it's all seriousness all the time. You don't generally see them having a lot of light moments. But yeah, Shayantan just never gives you any expression. You can never tell, like, he could be 5 goals up or 5 goals down. The expression on his camera will be exactly the same.
The ultimate poker face.
Absolutely, yeah. So Shayantan, if the eISL doesn't work out, definitely has a career in other forms of of online sports. But yeah, we can see now Naveen just focusing on the game, getting his lineups together, and I do believe we are ready for kickoff. We've already kicked off. What is this efficiency, guys? But here we go. It is SCEB Bengal, as we all know, in their home jersey, kicking from right to left, and well, from left to right rather, but coming from right to left immediately after Shayantan loses the ball. It is Chennaiyin FC and Naveen, and he'll be looking to make a fast start. He can play with a little bit more freedom because his teammate has done the business straight up, and you can see over there immediately willing to take that shot on, despite it being the weaker foot of R9 over there, but it doesn't seem to bother him too much at all. And early warning signs of Shayantan. Maybe a little bit of an opportunity for him to try and get an early glimpse of what Naveen is going to do in this game. He's also going with Puskas, so that seems to be the go-to card, and it seems to be working quite well, almost managing to power his way through. But man, what do you do about Joao Cancelo, one of the most unplayable players? You put that guy anywhere across the defense, midfield, forward. Just one of those players with just mega boosted stats all over the place, and he's having a pretty decent season in the real world as well. But now, what's Naveen got in his locker? Turning, twisting with Cruyff. We've seen that incredible finishing ability. Wonder if we'll see a long range shot over here. No, this time with Hullet, I think he could have tempted Shayantan in. And maybe in a few instances, it's a bit of mind games over there, like where you do think that the shot is on, but you deliberately don't take it so that the next time maybe he won't press you. And that's a smashing ball from Shayantan. We've seen this time and time again. Needs to go for that chip, but that first touch a little too heavy. That has been Shayantan's go-to ball for so many times in this tournament, and really could have been 1-0.
I think clearly we could see some, initial play style strategies from Shayantan coming out. He's been loving to play that long ball, right? He's done that just a couple of moments ago from that right wing. This time from the left-hand side, found Pele in such a good position. Yeah, but a touch a little too heavy over there, not really working out. But barring the fact that he's under such tremendous pressure, he's still holding himself pretty well, right? Because, I'm not really happy to say this, but because if Shayantan loses this game, this is all over. 4 months of absolutely dominating the leaderboards, and the next thing you're going to be doing is packing your bags, right? Because SCEB Bengal, they are fighting for absolute survival. Now, Chennaiyin FC, all thanks to Saranch, have given Naveen that pole position where he can play a little bit, off the pressure. He does not really have to take it on. But we know Naveen does have those killer instincts, because right before this, he is the one who's second in terms of scoring goals, right? So clearly, you would expect Naveen to deliver for Chennaiyin FC, but for Shayantan, it's so pivotal to find that early break for himself. But right now, Naveen, he was looking out over there for R9, clearly could not find him, and now he's susceptible to yet another counter-attack, this time with Pele pushing in. Shayantan goes in for a shot, but directly comes into the gloves of Van der Sar, and Chennaiyin FC still holding on.
Yeah, went for the chip over there, but I think it was just the angle was a little bit too acute for him. Might have been better served by looking for a cross in that instant
Yeah.
over there. But again, you can see that long ball in behind Shayantan. It is one of his most powerful weapons. Needs to be careful not to overuse it, because
Yeah.
what will happen then is that Naveen will then start to drop that defense of his. Uh, I mean, it will work either way for Shayantan, because if Naveen does drop that defense, then that gives him a little bit more breathing room and is not going to be as high a press. And quite surprised. There you go. Just as I mentioned that I was quite surprised that he was not going for the shot. He does take it, and based on the expression on Naveen's face right now, he was like, yeah, not doing that again. Hullet, you're fired.
But in the past, it has really worked out. Especially, at least if you are Ashwin, you're gonna see, you're gonna tell that that's not done that way. Clearly, the timing was way off on that one. He could have done way better. But Naveen is again one of those players who does not rely a lot on those long finesse shots, right? He's got that composure in the final third, has got all the right men, but such an end-to-end game this time, not going for those long balls, rather playing it through the midfield, finds Mbappe, passes it on towards Hullet, finds Ronaldo from that gap being built up, again gives it away towards Mbappe. Chances of a cross or maybe a cutback is what is looming upon us. Rather goes for a pass towards R9 with Hullet, would want to change the direction of play with Kante. Passes it on towards Pele. A beautiful build-up, all fall down, courtesy to Maldini.
Yeah, that was a very, very good passage of play. I think very composed over there was Santan, but I think towards the end, we just got a little bit impatient, a little bit frustrated, and over there almost winning that ball high up the pitch. Of course, Kante on Hullet, bit of a no contest over there about who's going to come out on top. But yeah, now we see Maradona on that flank. We've seen one attempted finesse shot from Ashwin, from Naveen, and we're seeing that Shantan is sort of standing off him. He's like, you know what, you want to take the shot, take it. I am more concerned about defending, all the forwards that are in the box. But can he do it? It's a brilliant turn from Naveen, and another one. But the defender gets back in the way, but Naveen still has that ball. Not for long anymore. It is 42 minutes on the clock. Are we going to see another long ball in behind with Puskas on that right flank? Decides to just play it safe. Oh man, I think we're in for a long one over here. Still 0-0, and both players looking just about threatening, but no clear chances apart from maybe that one that Shayantan had, which the first touch really let him down.
Yeah, I think he's been looking very convincing, right? And considering this is what Ankit Gupta sort of lagged off in his first half, right? This little build up where he's finding spaces, but I think that just happened on two occasions where after that Naveen clearly read that his opposition was trying to play those long balls in, and ever since I think we have seen Beno 7 relying on his midfield players, trying to build it up through that center. He's been creating so many chances. Naveen, well, he's been doing the same, but not as quite convincingly as Shantan has done. But it all comes down to the fact that neither of the players have succeeded in scoring, right?
Yeah.
If this sort of follows on, and whoever comes out as a victor, it's still there's still a dying possibility for Chennaiyin FC to face off against SCEB Bengal in the co-op game. But if Naveen sees this through, then it's the end of the roads for SCEB Bengal, and the fans are not going to be happy because you clearly know when you from Bengal, they are very passionate, be it the real Hero ISL, be it the eISL. And where in the real Hero ISL, we did not see SCEB Bengal popping up a lot, but in the eISL, we have seen them dominating through the league stages, giving the SCEB Bengal fans a chance to dream of having the trophy home. And now on those dying clinches, which could be potentially the last half of Beno 7's career playing individually, he has to pull out a rabbit of his hat.
Yeah, well, he starts by winning that ball back off Naveen as quickly as he possibly could, and that's a very, very strange touch over there. I think trying to play that through ball in behind, but just getting the input a bit wrong over there. Of course, sweaty palms are a legitimate excuse at this point because it is so high pressure right now. I mean, the temperature in the room, which is quite nicely air conditioned, but for them is going to be absolutely going through the roof. We're going to be seeing beads of sweat everywhere. And Naveen getting forward now, of course, we should remind our viewers that even if this match is drawn, that's a lovely bit of skill to get past the defender with Maradona. And now with Zidane waltzing through, a big opportunity over here, and actually had the shooting chance open up for him, but maybe I think he had already cued the pass before that happened. And very, very nice intricate play over here from Naveen. I wonder if we'll see a shot taken with Zidane. We do see it taken with Zidane, and it's pulled out by Casillas. But to remind our viewers once again that if this game does end in a draw, it's not going to just end as a draw, it is going to go to extra time. And as we did see with Mumbai City FC against FC Goa, potentially some penalty heartbreak.
Yeah, I think that's where you would want to be a little bit biased for SC's Bengal over there. You would want to see that third game really counting down the line. But the way Chennaiyin FC, I think, have picked themselves up, especially from the start of the second half, I think Naveen has been showing some really promising vitals out there. And if this keeps on continuing, he's definitely going to get one off. But Shayantan still sturdy as a rock, holding himself strong over here. But it's going to come down to nothing if he does not become the one to be scoring the goal that matters the most.
Yeah, right now in the second half, Naveen has really come out and tried to take control of this game, and he is fully in control right now. And you can see a lovely bit of skill and banged in. What a screamer there from Naveen. Absolutely brilliant past the man, and that green time finish shot off the post into the corner. Brilliant stuff from Naveen, and he has the lead. Chennaiyin FC, as things stand, getting ready to go ahead and face FC Goa in a bid to make it to the grand finals, unless Shayantan can do something about it in these remaining 30 minutes.
Oh, this is such a heartbreak for SC's Bengal and all their fans out there, because this does not scream of a third game altogether if this goes on. Because, you know, again, Naveen, he's been looking so explosive from the start of the second half. Now, this is somewhere a player like Saransh Jain can really help you out. He understands the situation so well. He said, you know, you might not be doing this thing right. Just fix that up. And I think clearly, you know, all the woes and worries for Chennaiyin FC have been fixed out here. And I think they're looking potentially for yet another one, because SC's Bengal, they have been in absolute tatters, but this could all change over here with this little breakthrough. But Puskas not really being able to hold on to the ball and the possession, again being given away towards Chennaiyin FC. Now this is terrible.
Yeah, Shayantan has not really been able to hold on to that ball properly at all, but now the nerves creeping into Naveen's game as well. And yeah, now we see Ben 07, the man who has been consistent throughout the season, but the nerves are truly getting to him. And now, if Naveen can find that ball in behind, he has a couple of options. He's got Mbappe on the left, he's got Maradona on the right as well. Deciding to keep it cool, keep it calm, and just slow the game down. And that's totally understandable. And now I'm sure Shayantan will want to make a tactical change, put that constant pressure on, get those fullbacks involved, go all out attack. But will he get the chance to even make those changes, or is Naveen just going to hold on to this ball forever? It does look like Naveen is being a little bit, shall we say, since the word was used in the last match, ethical about his game management, where he's making some kind of an attempt to actually create a goal-scoring opportunity. But at the moment, it's 15 minutes to go, and it's not looking particularly good for Shayantan. He's just waiting and waiting. He has to go and keep pressing that ball. He does not have an option. And will he win that back? Nope, it's just going to be a throw for Chennaiyin FC again. But now we see Chennaiyin making some changes as well. I'm sure it's going to be more defensive formation for Naveen, and it's just going to be absolutely all guns blazing for Shayantan. This is his last stand in the eISL.
I think, you know, this is sort of resonating with that one little matchup that they had against ATK Mohan Bagan, where you could clearly see Shayantan feeling the nerves, right? And this could not get worse than that, right? In a high-stake matchup, SC's Bengal have really not been in those dire circumstances where, you know, the question is, if you're losing this game, it's game over, journey ended for you guys. They've been dominating the league stages all along, and to get all foiled up during the playoffs. It's going to be such a huge heartbreak. Just 10 minutes remain, and SC's Bengal, they have to find something miraculous. Maybe this could be what the one
Yes!
they were looking for. And yes, indeed, they succeed in that late last minute cutback coming in for R9. And ladies and gentlemen, we still have a game in our hands.
Oh, and you know what? Since halftime, Ankit has been just making those hand gestures to say, put it across goal, put it across goal. And finally, Shayantan firing that ball across. Looked very simple, but there you have it. Immediately has the goal back, and now it's a bit of a dilemma for Shayantan. Does he keep on the attack because he's made those attacking substitutions? Does he double down on that and go for the win? Or does he sit back and wait for extra time? It's a big decision for both players to make. Of course, they're both going to have those attacking formations set up, and you can feel the nerves over here. I mean, I'm feeling the nerves sitting in the other studio opposite from where these guys are playing the match, but my goodness, now it's all up to Shayantan. It's all about now not making a mistake. I mean, what a comeback this would be if SC's Bengal can manage to see this out. I mean, literally from being match point, championship point down, to put it in tennis terms, to finally come back from the brink of defeat, from the brink of elimination, to come back and win this. Oh, that would be the most SC's Bengal way to do it.
Oh yeah, and you know, they have been that certain club when you know, it all matters. They have delivered, and SC's Bengals would be proud for what Shayantan is going to put on the table. Such an amazing chance being missed out, and Naveen did skip a beat over there, but now he's not got not got a lot of time to ponder over that, because he's got to go on a counter attack of his own. But Shayantan clearly managing to get his players back to where they really were. And now this could be a very good break for Naveen. As he goes through, fights it open, does get that gap, and yes, a score at the 90th minute, finding that winner with R9, putting lights out for SC's Bengal and their fans.
Oh, heartbreak there for SC's Bengal, just when they thought they had got the job done. Well, the streak for Saransh in the lower bracket finales continues, and you can see we do have confirmed that it is going to be FC Goa playing up against Chennaiyin FC in our final game for the day, which of course will be coming up shortly after this. We still do have that co-op game yet to play, but unfortunately for SC's Bengal, the team that topped this table in the eISL for months on end, really, now finally knocked out, and of course the disappointment is going to be there for all to see. Still a little bit of an inquisition happening between the two boys from SC's Bengal, but man, it's that's the cruel beast that FIFA can be sometimes. Just when you think you've seen it out, you've got that result in the bag, you're going to extra time, suddenly there's an R9 out of the blue. A wild R9 appears and smashes it in with the left foot.
I mean, what a finish, right? To an exciting match. But still, I mean, kudos to Shayantan as well. Tried his level best to fire it back, but Naveen just being the better player today. And Chennaiyin FC with this, they've done it. As you said, Azim, they're going to be the ones moving forward and facing FC Goa in the lower bracket finale. And who knows, I mean, Saransh did say his streak goes on, but they still have to play one more match in the lower bracket.
And hey, Naveen has just equalized Ankit Gupta, and Ankit Gupta is playing no more.
That too.
Yeah. So yeah, that MVP battle got very, very interesting. I mean, you never know. You might see Afnan scoring 10 goals per game and going and stealing it. Anything is possible. But these are these few moments that Shayantan will look back on. Particularly these two counter-attacks when it was 0-0. I think the first one, if he had made it count, would have been a big difference. And you could see from the beginning there that Ankit's saying, you know, go for that reverse pass, put the ball across goal, and you'll get some joy from it. But I mean, this was a good attempt, but finally, when it came down to it, it was this brilliant bit of skill. You can see that outstanding timed finish over there, using that card to its absolute maximum. R9, the 97 rated Prime Moments R9, that's what it can do for you. And of course, most of us mere mortals don't have access to these cards, or we can have access to these cards if we really grind about 70 hours a week into playing FIFA. Then maybe we'll be able to find them in our ultimate teams as well. And you could see over there, they thought that it was back, and then the cruel finish.
And in sort of a similar manner, right? Again with R9 finding it out, but this time to the near post. And you can't really even blame Shantan. He had his goalkeeper just where he wanted him. And still, I think the stars have been completely aligned for Chennaiyin FC. I think this was a plot that they've been planning out all along. You know, lose your game, don't go in through the upper brackets, head into the lower brackets, beat SC's Bengal. They have not done this before. And coming out on top, and you could clearly see how dominating Naveen was in terms of how he kept on to the possession himself. In those final 20 minutes is where we did see, Shantan really notch it up a bit in terms of how he wanted to attack. But, he's going to clearly regret, he's going to have nightmares about all those missed chances which, he could have taken and scored a goal. But that's the brutality of this game. They're going to ponder over it back in their home.
Yeah, I mean, and now you can't do anything about it. It's a little too late, but it is not late for you guys if you want to grab NFTs and digital collectibles for your favorite teams or players, because that is what we bring for you with our digital collectible partners, Terra Virtual, ladies and gentlemen. And if you want to have a look at what they have to offer, you can right now. So beautiful set of collectibles are available with our digital collectible partner Terra Virtue. I mean, the masters, the leaders in the metaverse and the NFT ecosystem. And coming back to this matchup, I think from what we saw on the face cams, even Shayantan was like quite respectful of that last goal. Even he went like, yeah, that was a good one. Two defenders getting beaten, but that does, make a situation a little bit dire for SC's Bengal. Now they have to still play the 2v2.
Yeah, knowing that they're out of the tournament, it's going to be so frustrating, so exhausting for them, to last. I think the longest 90 minutes of their career is what we're looking forward to. Clearly not the right mentality that the players would be in, but it's going to be an exhibition matchup regardless, right? But FC Goa, they're going to be clearly watching out this game. They're going to be going up against next, because Chennaiyin FC, they just can't, say that, we're done for the day.
But let's have a conversation right now with the man who was able to pull off that the magical performance in this match. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us right now, it's going to be Naveen from Chennaiyin FC. Naveen, congratulations on that amazing win. That last goal was just miraculous. So congratulations on the goals as well that you scored. And how are you feeling right now?
It was very intense game, like throughout the game, because it's basically those one chance, two chances which you get throughout the game. I felt I could have been better in the attacking wise creativity, but I was defending solid only. Like I was marking the runs, but still he had one chance, I think, with Pele, which he should have finished. So that's the chances, like one or two chances which changed the game.
And Naveen, of course, we would all want to know what was going in the back of your heads once, you did concede that equalizer. And from there onwards, you went on to get the winner in the 90th minute out of every possible time. So tell us something about that little phase of yours.
No, I knew I had to have the ball for the 90th minute, because after he scored, I gave the ball away to him. Then he was attacking well, and I just had to defend that one attack. And after I got the ball, I know I had 2 minutes, and I know he'll bring his centre mid up, and I was expecting that to happen. So he brought his centre mid, and I went to the striker. It's basically one skill, and I got lucky with the skill as well. So
yeah, well, but you have 1 foot into the final elimination matchup up against now FC Goa. You guys have the momentum, of course, going into that. How are you feeling going into that? Do you guys feel confident that you can make it through to the finals?
Yeah, we felt confident before the game as well. So the confidence is always there. Like we just need to like attack or defend, whatever we do it properly. So that's it. Like it's basics.
You know,
Just
before
get
we
the basics correct.
Yeah, of course. Before we, let you go, are you going to display some YOLO players coming out? Any favorites that you want to see, Azim?
Well, no, we leave it to them. I think he worked hard enough, so Naveen can pick whichever of his favorite players for the co-op game. But we'll leave it to them.
So yeah, full freedom from Azim and fixes Naveen. Congratulations on the win. I think it's time you enjoy the co-op match that is about to happen right now against SCE's Bengal, and also all the best for your next match against FC Goa.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, guys.
Cheers.
Righty, so no request. I thought you guys might have some questions about the game management that was going on right in the second half.
I mean, it was fairly, as I said, ethical game management,
Yeah,
shall we say. I think, Naveen seems like, he doesn't seem like that kind of guy, who's just going to hog the ball. He's too nice, he's too sweet. We've spoken to him so many times. Like, even if he's hogging the ball just out of courtesy, he'll give you the ball once, because that's just...
He did in the game.
And he gave him a goal as well, so it's fine.
But more than that, right? Talking about the chips at stake, it's all done and dusted for SC's Bengal. Like we've already discussed, even for Shayantan, he was showing those early signs, right? When the game started off, it was such end-to-end FIFA, right? He had that little bit of a X factor when he could have gotten the job done initially early on with that long ball going in, but clearly did not capitalize. I think something that even Naveen really touched upon, and Naveen had been looking way more stable inside the game. Even when we did take a look at the statistics, the possession percentage was way much in his favor, and that is how Naveen really plays his FIFA, right? It relies a lot on those passes, finds that one player, and he's been a clinical player, as a result of which now he has the chance of getting his hands on that 4 lakh rupees. Not just that personalized NFT by Terra Virtua. That is something that I'm really looking forward to.
I mean, I believe even the MVP of the tournament, whoever it may be, will also look forward to getting that NFT. But along with that, Azim, I mean, as Fixes was pointing this out during the start of the match, we did see Shayantan put a lot of pressure on Naveen. But right before the first half came to an end, we saw him back off as well and give Naveen a lot of breathing room. Do you think... had he continued to build that pressure with those long passes coming in from the left, he could have eventually capitalized earlier on and we could have seen a different result right now.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that first chance that he got in behind with Pele, I think was very crucial to even his game plan, because the game plan was clear that he's going to sit deep, soak up that pressure and then just hit him on the counter attack. I think in that second half you didn't see it as much because Naveen, I think, dropped his defensive line just that little bit. Twofold advantage over there. You don't get counter attacked so easily, and also it gives you a little bit more space to build up your game. It might not be as intense pressure on the opponent, which is why we also saw Shayantan was able to hold the ball a bit better in that second half. But I mean, yeah, it's the last hurrah, it's the last dance now for SC's Bengal, the team that topped this eISL table pretty much from the beginning, you would have to say. I mean, they got off to a bit of a slow start in terms of just the number of games that they were playing. But I mean, since day one, everyone's maintained Chennaiyin FC were the favourites, and boy, they've had to do it the hard way. But yeah, one step away now from making it to that grand finale, and you'd have to say, I mean, these are the guys who have played in the biggest tournaments, the most experienced at this level, and you would expect them now to really, I mean, have a massive go at FC Goa, who are really, really down in the dumps with that heartbreak of that penalty shootout loss.
I think in this particular game, it's going to be much more important for Chennaiyin FC to sort of keep that winning train going on for them, right?
Yeah.
Because they do not have enough time to breathe. Because this has never happened before. You're just playing one game. Right, 5 minutes later, you're playing again, and it's going to be 3 more matches, and this time the stakes are higher than ever. Again, it's an elimination matchup, so clearly Saranj has been one of those players who's very well dealt with in this particular situation, but you could clearly see the kind of homework that Chennaiyin FC had done, especially Naveen over there, clearly specifying that he expected the central midfield attack to come out and really capitalizing upon this. But here we are for one last time witnessing SCE's Bengal to play a battle for just walking back home with your heads held high. Such an amazing run, finally coming down to an end, but no breathing time inside this matchup as Chennaiyin FC in their whites from right to left were instantly looking to attack, and they're going to do so for the next couple of minutes.
And you have to say that Naveen has really got a handle on that new R9 card. I mean, he's using it in ways that we've seen nobody so far in the eISL. And let's see. Oh my goodness, there you go, deflected off the post, and it will be in. That is so unfortunate, but at some level also a bit deserved for Chennaiyin FC, because they really went for that, and it was desperately unlucky for SC Bengal. But the initial skill with R9 to create that opportunity was just absolutely spectacular.
Yeah, and this at this particular moment, you know, SC Bengal will not mind conceding these goals. I think they would want to score much more than how much they're going to concede and try to win this one out. But clearly, you know, asking the players to play a game just when they know they're out of the tournament, it's so heartbreaking. But these are the rules, and they need to abide by it. Chennaiyin FC again showing signs of that attack, and I think they have to win this game, and I think they're going to be focusing on winning it by big margins, because that is definitely going to bolster up their confidence. Going up against FC Goa, make another go at it. This time Casillas making those saves. Could have done better in those individual games where he did concede that one. The last goal especially would have broken Shantan's heart.
Oh yeah, but an opportunity for SC Bengal to strike back, but that pass to Mbappe actually finding him offside in what was a very promising situation initially. Cancelo will try to keep that in, but of course it is going to be just a throw in to Chennaiyin FC. Just a reminder to all our viewers, in case you're just tuning in, it is of course a bit of a dead rubber, almost an exhibition match right now, because Chennaiyin FC got the job done in their individual matches. Both Naveen and Saranj managing to get their wins over Ankit and Shayantan. So it is unfortunately the end of the road, the end of what has been a very entertaining journey for SC Bengal. I think they have been the chief entertainers in this tournament for us. I mean, the kind of goals that they scored. Have a look at that! Almost putting another one into the top corner there with Cantona with that chop back finesse shot over there. But Van der Sar there to foil the plans as always. And now the cross comes in. Well worked corner routine, and bang, it goes in. Marquinhos with the volley over there, and these guys have been the corner specialists, throwing in a few cheeky celebrations as well. You may as well now. I mean, no point putting up the apology celebration now. It's all over, and we have an equalizer.
Oh yeah, we still have a third game in hand where you know, SC Bengal would be wanting to end their run in the eISL with a victory, and I think this is what we've been missing out from their side, right? Them not feeling the pressure, because these are those shots that they, you know, tend to go for, and more often than not it goes in. And this is something that was missing from Ankit Gupta's side in the finals, of where he sort of started doubting himself. And you know, again for Shayantan, he held on for so long, but it was Naveen just coming out with a victory. And it's been such an eventful affair for Chennaiyin FC, because if you remember that last matchup against Mumbai City FC, especially Naveen's opener against Ashwin, that last minute sucker punch where we really thought that Naveen clearly had it in the bag, and suddenly Ashwin just goes out and scores a really ridiculous goal, and it all falls down for them from there on. So clearly so much for Naveen out there, but again heavy up. Chennaiyin FC still wanted to build this attack up, go a little bit far. Did not quite succeed. Again, a long ball played in through. This is something that you get to see from a typical Shantan. He tried again, but maybe it was not enough.
Yeah, not quite happening over there as Chennaiyin FC come forward again, but well defended this time by SC Bengal. Chennaiyin FC, of course, will be taking this match very seriously, because there is the complete possibility that the FC Goa could take them all the way into a Game 3. So, good to be sharp with your co-op in that LAN environment as well. So it's going to be interesting. It's, I think, a bit of a double-edged sword for both teams, both Chennaiyin FC and FC Goa going into that one. Because Chennaiyin FC, of course, yes, they'll have the momentum and the adrenaline and everything on their side, but they will also be that little bit more fatigued, having played the match much sooner, or having to play that match much sooner than FC Goa. But let's see what we have over here. Are we going to see? It does look like it's going to be Maradona trying to smash that into the top corner. Doesn't look like SC's Bengal have any plans of defending that. Timed finish and, well, pulled out quite easily by Casillas, so I guess they trusted their keeper.
Yeah, did not quite break a sweat over there. But, 32 minutes inside the game, it's one each apiece for both these sides. And end-to-end FIFA is what we're witnessing. And the other goal was in the making just, but the defender comes through. And now SC's Bengal, I think they're going to start building up their attack. And yeah, I mean, so far, also having Roberto Carlos being brought up. And I think I remember that really another goal of this tournament contender with Roberto Carlos almost around the half-line area. A little bit ahead than that, he went in for a shot. Ideally, in any other versions of FIFA, that would have gone in. But in FIFA 22, where it gets so realistic, it doesn't really. But Mumbai City FC have done that in the past. And this time, Chennaiyin FC were just waiting to get through, break through that defense. But SC's Bengal not really letting them. Clearly, you've got to give commends to these two players, showing that professionalism when you do not have anything to fight for. I think they're just doing it for the fans, right? They've been so supportive to them throughout the entire journey. And even when they have fallen, I think it is a warm gesture that these players can do for all their fans. Because, mind you, I mean, I think if the second rendition of the eISL comes up, they're going to be back with a banger.
Yeah, absolutely. And back with a bang are SC's Bengal on this counter-attack. Let's see if they can end this tournament with a bang, getting that win that has unfortunately eluded them today. Came so close to at least forcing extra time with Chayanthan, and a shot taken, but the deflections not being very kind to SC's Bengal today. It's worked out quite well for Chennaiyin FC with their first goal. Deflection and then a shot off the post. But now, using these corner routines again, getting that shot away and, what are we going to see over here? Will we finally get to see that bicycle kick going in for Ankit Gupta? He gave it a pretty good go up against Saranch. Almost pulled it off. But yes, with one half yet to go, we will hopefully have a winner for SC's Bengal, just so that they can end this tournament on a happy-ish note.
I think, I think this needs to be bought out, because there were multiple chances where you really felt that Ankit Gupta was getting back into his game, getting back to his groove, finding his mojo. But I think going up against Saranch, this is where he ought to question himself, right? Was that the right decision? Could he have gone up against Naveen and managed to see it through? Because that is something that really worked out for them in the past. And suddenly doing something that you've not done in the past and hoping it to work out, I think they expected something of a miracle, some sort of a miracle to happen, but clearly did not. As we head into the second half, as SC's Bengal still eyeing out to exit or end their journey in the eISL, at least with a win in this co-op matchup. Because for the viewers that have tuned in, this is not where it all stops, right? We still have one more very interesting matchup. Again, a battle for survival, a battle to get that ticket inside the grand finals. Chennaiyin FC will have to play FC Goa, which would decide who ends up on the third position and who ends up getting into the finals.
Yeah, absolutely. But for the moment, a free kick for Chennaiyin FC. SC's Bengal looking fairly liberal with the fouls today. I mean, of course, they could just get 3 red cards and YOLO. It doesn't matter. But also Maldini getting involved with the free kick and giving it away. But of course, if you are enjoying the eISL, it's a given that you've been following the Hero ISL as well. And of course, the finals for that will be happening tomorrow. It is, of course, Hyderabad FC going up against Kerala Blasters FC in that one. It's going to be an absolute cracker of a final, which you can catch at 7:30 p.m. on Star Sports, of course, Disney Plus, Hotstar and GeoTV. As we see, surely a goal this time. There you go, Chennaiyin FC. Bang, it goes in. A bit of a defensive lapse over there, we'd have to say, from SC's Bengal, and they have been made to pay for it.
Yeah, I think as an FC Goa fan or even the players, this is not good signs, Azim, right? Because they're watching them have such a good momentum being built up, and you could clearly see how devastated the boys were after that loss, heading out to penalty shootouts, and then you suddenly lose. It kind of breaks your spirit of playing, right? And you know how brutal it can be, because just after that one matchup, you have to go up against a team like Chennaiyin FC, a team that absolutely everyone fears. And Saransh has clearly specified that he loves to play through the lower brackets, right? He's been a player who's found that confidence instilled within him, and we might get to see a rematch if potentially Chennaiyin FC see that one through again with Mumbai City FC, another matchup that everyone might love to see. But that's for a later discussion, because right now Chennaiyin FC, they've been looking really promising. They have been scoring goals. They have fixed all those little mistakes that they were committing in the past. They've been looking stronger than ever. And being an FC Goa supporter, you clearly not in the right states right now, because this is going to get even worse if this goes through, with Mbappe passing on towards Ruud Gullit. Has found some space with R9. He's going to go for the shot, opts for a pass on towards Gullit, passes it on towards Maradona. Would look for a little bit of a space, a little bit of a trick moves being on display, and Marquinhos making sure that that gets punished.
Yeah, it looked for a moment like he had worked that beautifully with Maradona, but not to be, as we see now. Ruud Gullit coming forward for SC East Bengal. What do the Bengal boys have for us at the moment? The answer is nothing. And they'll be a bit demoralized. And have a look at that for a smashing pass, doing to Shayantan what he's done to countless opponents. And over here, I think he was trying to sit the keeper down over there and just pass it into the near post. And again, we see this Ronaldo abuse almost. I mean, it's just unstoppable after a point, and a foul there. A little too eager to win that ball.
I think enough time for FC Goa also to ponder over how Chennaiyin FC's individual games really went out, because the co-op games is something that they would not want to play at this particular moment, right? If they could find any sort of openings, any sort of playing style similarities, anything that they can really count upon, I think that is the only copium that you can have as a FC Goa supporter over there. They have been watching from the sidelines, seeing both these players, absolutely show everything that they have to offer. And clearly, that R9 is going to be watched along from Naveen's side. So whoever goes up against Naveen would be eager in stopping Naveen's R9 right after that his tracks. So let's see what happens in the next matchup. Clearly, after this, it's going to happen. But for now, heading in, we are already 70 minutes through. Chennaiyin FC still having that sliver of a lead, which could amount to nothing if SCS Bengal score at any given moment, right? But the way this game has been heading, again, for the viewers out there, the matchup has already come to a close, where Chennaiyin FC have managed to beat SCS Bengal straight in their individual games, leaving nothing to win for SCS Bengal in this final co-op game, except for that little glory, right? But both these teams, ATKMB and SCS Bengal, have had a quite contrasting journey. But this could all end, and you're talking about the journey again. ATKMB in the Real Hero eISL, they've been looking so promising. They have been such an amazing team, but clearly did not get the results that they were looking for. The same did happen in the eISL as far, because the fans are clearly not happy with how they ended last. But these little breaks are something that, FC Goa really need to watch out for, as Chennaiyin FC have managed to net one more in.
Yeah, that was outstanding, sublime counter-attack over there. And you can see at this point, I think SCS Bengal, I think they're mentally on the flight back home right now. Because they gave it a shot, they got the equalizer, they thought, okay, you know what, maybe we can keep going, but I think they've just run out of steam a little bit over here. Might still have a goal in them, trying to waltz their way through, but nope, the defense from Chennaiyin FC very solid, and of course standing them in very good stead ahead of that upcoming match against FC Goa, of course, where we have seen the FC Goa boys standing around outside, still reminiscing about what could have been, but of course also trying to get their heads back into that game. And we could see insult to injury over here. Is this going to be a fourth goal? Oh my goodness, toying with them, but it's offside. It's offside.
I mean, it's all right. It's all right. It's something that they can live with, clearly, because it's already lights out from what I can really say, because it's maybe.
Oh.
I think this is clearly one of those evenings where SC's Bengal did not wake up at the right side of the bed, and not the right morning that they would have wanted this sort of a thing to happen to them, because it was all in a high stakes matchup, everything on the line. SC's Bengal and Chennaiyin FC, we were hoping to see both these teams in the grand finals, but seems like only one is going to make the cut, and Chennaiyin FC beating the keeper.
yes.
Typical Charanj will put the final nail in the coffin. It's 4-1, and Chennaiyin FC, the fans, the Machans, they're going to be so elated with how their players have performed, but they still cannot celebrate because they still have one more goal to go. But this could have been a very interesting goal had that gone in, but out for a corner.
Yeah, and you can see no particular interest in taking that corner right now. I think the one of the players might have even given up. But is there going to be a volley from Puskas? Well, I don't think there's going to be anything. Maybe a free kick over there? No, the game is done. The game is done. Chennaiyin FC convincingly through into that final, well, pre-final shall we call it, and they are going up against FC Goa to battle it out. This is chance number 2, redemption opportunity for both teams.
Yeah.
Who's going to come out on top, man?
Yeah, and well, Chennaiyin FC, it looked like they used this match just to get themselves a little bit more comfortable, get themselves warmed up for the next series, the lower bracket final that they're about to play. An amazing momentum boost for Chennaiyin FC with this win. But those attempts towards the end from SC's Bengal were just so good.
And this is the SCS Bengal that we have been missing. This is the sort of an orthodox play that they opt for, and they succeed. A lot on a lot of occasions, like 7 out of 10 chances they usually tend to score.
Yeah.
And this is the exact SC's Bengal that we have been missing out on in the playoffs a couple of weeks prior to that. The kind of an SCS Bengal that all the fans love to see, especially the kind of Ankit Gupta that we all love to see, had been a little bit lackluster today, and well, they had to pay a hefty price.
I mean, kind of so close yet so far away situation for the lads of SC's Bengal. But Chennaiyin FC, I mean, I believe we're going to have another conversation with them. And this time, they won't be able to dodge the question, what are you thinking about the next game? Because we can ask them.
Yeah, well, I guess we can. But I would be interested to have a chat with Ankit Gupta as well. I mean, to see how his tournament has gone. I'm sure we'll see whoever production decides to give us. But also thinking of this from FC Goa's point of view. I think psychologically they would have wanted to go up against SC's Bengal because they've already beaten them once in the knockout, and they would have said, you know what, we fancy our chances to go again. Chennaiyin FC, different beast when it comes into that late phase of the tournament, that end game. They're really bringing out the big guns today, and we saw a lot of good attempts from SC's Bengal. Of course, this was more of an exhibition game, and the attempts from SC's Bengal also seemed like exhibition attempts. They were just trying to score like a few goal of the season contenders you could see over there, with using Puskas as well. Puskas, of course, the player after which the best goal of the year award is named, so why not score the best goal with him? And they did succeed in pulling that gap back to 1-1, but I think once that goal came from a mistake from them, I think that's when the concentration and the motivation just all evaporated.
Yeah, just one moment and you start slipping up after that. I mean, just tilt getting initiated in the players. And it's quite difficult to recover from that, but SC's Bengal, we saw them being calm and composed even in this series. And I guess when the pressure is off these lads, this is their comfort zone. I mean, this is their real form.
I think the only tipping point we had in this entire fixture was when Shayantan managed to equalize the scores, right?
Yes.
That is when it got so exciting and interesting. Just 10 minutes were remaining, and whoever scored the next goal, if Shayantan had done that, we could have had a very interesting, a very different co-op game in here where everything would have been on the line. But yes, that is where you put a lot Naveen for his performance out there, right? Holding on to his nerve, still not losing his mind, because at certain areas like that, when you concede a goal where you've been dominating all along and suddenly you're equalized, and there comes that moment where you might lose your calm, right? But he did not. He held himself over there, which clearly shows his mental ability of having such a strong mindset in even those games where things could look astray for him.
Yeah, definitely. And Again, we do have the scoreboard in front of us. Chennaiyin FC winning every single game in this match. The first one, Saransh walking away with a 1-0 victory. Then we had Naveen with a 2-1 win against Sayanthan, and the co-op game, it was a 4-1 scoreline. So quite a dominating performance from both the individuals of Chennaiyin FC as far as their individual games are considered, and the co-op match as well. But they have to repeat all of this again in the next series against FC Goa. But we're going to talk a little bit more about that later on. For now, we will be having a look at the hero of the match.
Yeah, I don't think there's going to be any great surprises. Has to be Naveen
Yeah.
for that incredible performance he put on, scoring the 2 goals individually and 2 goals in the co-op as well. And scoring, I mean, those 2 goals that we've seen in his individual game are as good as anything you're going to see in the eISL when it comes to just individual skill, individual brilliance, knowing how to use those super OP cards and making them even more OP than they already are. I mean, there's one thing of just having the card, but knowing how to use it, yeah, that's what makes it special.
I mean, sometimes, like you said, say it right, it's not the ride, it's the driver
Yeah.
that really matters. And I think he had it all within him, you know, utilizing this R9 card, something that the boys from FC Goa would be watching out really keenly over onto how he was playing it all around. But yeah, of course, you've got to talk about Naveen, and now we're in a certain situation, right? This is where maybe a few, how do you say it? Few flames must be getting ignited, because now he's in the race. He's taken that front foot in the race for the MVP title, the extra 4 lakh rupees, and the personalized NFT that we were talking about. I mean, clearly the players are going to deny that. Oh, we're focusing on that game, but I'm talking about extra 4 lakhs and personalized NFT. Not a lot of people in the world do get to have a chance at that.
And it's not just Naveen, it's Saransh as well. Both these teammates just there on the leaderboard and the top. Yeah, a little bit of a competition within the team itself. But again, ladies and gentlemen, as we talk about competition, you guys don't have to compete, because you can get yourself your favorite teams and your players NFTs with our digital partner Terra Virtue. And talking about Terra Virtue, I guess it is time to have a look at the super moment as well of this match that we just witnessed. So again, a lot of exciting match. But hey, Azim, I believe you got it right. It's Naveen's goal.
Yeah, I mean, had to be. I mean, I don't think there was any more. It could be any more super a moment than this. In the 91st minute, 92nd minute, there's going to be some people from FC Goa watching that and saying, hey, you know, we didn't get those extra 7 seconds because we were exactly 2 feet further away from the goal than he was, and the game does not compute that as a final chance. But hey, sometimes these are the finest of fine margins, and Naveen took the opportunity. It's one thing to have the opportunity, it's the other thing completely to take it. And going through 2 defenders and then taking that shot, that little hesitation to open up the shot as well, top class.
Exactly. I mean, definitely, as we said, Terra Virtue super moment, worthy moment. As the fake before he switched up the feet and then went on the finish, absolutely beautiful. But now one more thing that's prettier than, not prettier, but equally as pretty is the brackets, because I love looking at the brackets. I mean, and we make things official when we have like a clear representation of what the matchups are going to look like. And well, this is it. Lower bracket finale, FC Goa, Chennaiyin FC. Whoever wins gets to face Mumbai City FC in the grand final happening tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. And you guys can tune into the grand finals matchup as well on Star Sports 3. It will be taking place right after the Hero ISL finale that's going to happen. So one exciting thing followed by another exciting thing. I mean, tomorrow it's going to be difficult to breathe.
Oh yeah, lots of stuff happening in the world of sports tomorrow. So I mean, empty out your calendars, call your friends home. Get your snacks and beverages together, because it's going to be an absolute cracker of a sporting day tomorrow.
It's a busy Sunday for everyone.
Yeah.
Guys, we still have a game in hand right now, because I'm getting excited about what's coming our way.
Yeah, I mean, we are getting ahead of ourselves, but we still have one more thing, and that is a lot of questions for our winners, ladies and gentlemen, of this match. So it is Naveen joining us from Mumbai City FC again. Naveen, once again, welcome to the show. How are you feeling about this win? This was a thrashing that you handed out to SCEB Bengal in this matchup. Was this one difficult, or did you not feel any pressure at all in this co-op match?
Like, after winning the 2 games, we should not be having the pressure. So we didn't have any pressure, and we were having fun around. So, and they also didn't have the best minds to play. It happens, right? So, so that's it.
But Naveen, I think we've got to ask you this. Now that you've managed to score those 2 goals, you've reached that 50-goal tally. You are the table topper officially, heading in for that MVP prize. And quite interestingly, you're battling it out against your own teammates, Saransh. Somewhere down the line, does it occur in your head that maybe you're gonna look for scoring a lot of goals and take home those 4 lakh rupees cash money and that personalized NFT by Terra Virtua?
Actually, before the game, like Ankit and we were talking about like person who wins this, like the team who wins this match will win the MVP as well, because it's going to be like that. So that's what we talked about. We didn't have anything in our mind like that doesn't come to your mind. All you need to focus on is win, and that's what we are focusing on.
I'm not talking about a team game over
Yeah,
here. I'm
yeah,
talking about you individually. Now, that's a competition against Ranch, and I might like some masala for myself. Yeah, so tell me about that.
Like that's what like what we can do is like not concede. We can't score anymore. Like 1-0 win is better than a 5-4 win. So
Yeah.
we'll take whatever it is. So no fight among each other. So I hope
Yeah.
at least I didn't ask Saraj about it.
But of course, you guys are in a very good mood now. Of course, a nice, slightly casual game of co-op as well. Whereas now your opponents in your next game coming right up, FC Goa, they've been a little down in the dumps. But so there's advantages to both sides. I mean, for them, they've had a little bit more recovery time, had a little bit of a rest. For you guys, there's not much rest. There's straight up, you have to go back to back. So which position is better, to have the momentum and no rest, or a little bit of a rest to try to figure out your game plan?
To be honest, this is the best moment we can get, because like after losing a game, you can't keep your head whatever it is. Like you'll have that keeps on running in your mind. So this is way better, because we lost 5 days ago. We don't even remember about that now. All we need to do is like go against Goa and try our best to win it.
I think there it is. Having the momentum is what Naveen wants in this moment. But Naveen, you guys have the momentum. You guys have the mindset of going ahead with the win. So thank you so much for joining us for this interview. All the best for your match, for your low bracket finale
one more thing.
against FC Goa. And yes, just one more game to go.
No, I want to say one more thing. Like I love the glasses Fix is wearing, so admiring it.
I mean, I'm going to give this away to you if you're winning the
Yeah,
eISL.
you get the MVP. I will make sure you get these glasses. I'll take it off of Fixes and give them to you myself.
That's the upgraded price. It's
Thanks
4
a
lakh
lot.
rupees
Yes.
NFT and fixes glasses.
Yes.
We'll upgrade the slide.
That will be
for the
worth a
next
lot,
match.
I feel.
I mean, if there is no pressure, we're going to put some pressure on you ourselves. So, yeah, think about that while you prep up for the match. The glasses are right there on the line now, along with 4 lakh rupees. Naveen, thank you so much for joining us for this lovely
Thanks a lot,
interview.
thanks a
It's
lot.
been a pleasure talking with you, and all the best for your match.
Thank you.
All right.
Fixes, are you scared now?
Never have I been complimented over my glasses. I think
Right before they might almost get taken away from you.
it's fine. I mean, it's fine, right? I think it's such a good giveaway for the winners. I mean, Azim had been gracious enough to give ATK MB a pizza. At the very least I can do is give away my chashma to the best team, and in fact, could be the potential MVP, and we
Yeah.
could be talking NFT deals later on.
Exactly. Talking about NFTs, though. Talking about NFTs, ladies and gentlemen, you guys have the opportunity to grab digital collectibles for your favorite teams and your favorite players from our digital partners, Terra Virtua, who are the leaders in the metaverse and the NFT ecosystem. And again, Azim, we've correct me if I'm wrong. He's never worn glasses before this, right? This is the first time we're seeing him with glasses, and they're about to get taken away. Because I believe in Naveen.
Yeah, I mean, he's only won it a couple of times, and Chennaiyin FC never lost since he started wearing them.
Exactly.
Oh.
And well, I mean, there's another thing that we have to show our viewers, and that is the NFT video that is there from our digital collectible partner, Terra Virtua. So let's have a look. So what what an exciting day it has been so far. I mean, we did see the first collision, Mumbai City FC going up against FC Goa, and just now the match between SC East Bengal and Chennaiyin FC came to an end with Chennaiyin FC taking away the win. But that is not all for today. We still have the lower bracket final that is about to take place between FC Goa and Chennaiyin FC in a few short moments on another broadcast, because this one is about to come to an end. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in to this eISL matchup powered by Coca-Cola with associate partners, associate sponsors, Hero, esports partner, Nordwind Gaming, platform partner, PlayStation, and digital collectible partner, Terra Virtua. And as I said earlier, this broadcast does come to an end, but we have another stream beginning in a few short moments with the lower bracket final. So make sure you guys tune in for that as well. Thank you so much for being here. We'll see you guys in the next one.